Hello friends and welcome to a video for clients and families. This is coming from a client's point of view and not a member of staff's point of view, So since I'm leaving the Poplers, this is like my last day as I'm doing this video, as I speak. I thought I'd literally give people who are coming through the Poplars doors literally what it's like. Because obviously people will be referred here. And if you're referred here, then it's one of the best centres. I've not been to other centres, but just from what I've heard. Like I said, that's a more of a formal approach. Obviously, you can do all your reading and all that crap. So I'm just going to give you the client side of things because, yeah. Now, speaking of client side, one of the things that I like is the staff, when they do their thing, which is like going for handovers and stuff, you don't see any of that. Or if you do, it's always done positively. It's not done in a frustrating way. So that's a big thumbs up, really, because very different to Henshaws. Very different to Henshaws. You know, no one moans about their breaks and stuff. I mean, they're entitled to all that sort of stuff, but it's, you know. Now, depending on how independent you are, because that's the thing, depending on how independent you are, the trips out are, everything is work, the thing is they work around you. You know, so for example, you want to go out to the pub, for example, it's always good. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing my headphones so I can do two things at once. Just let me get my thing, yeah. A, I've got not much battery. B, I'm tired. B, this is late at night. And C, I didn't think I was going to do well, I've done another podcast for my other channel. I posted that on my other channel just so a certain person that's subscribed to that can watch this video. Yeah, depending, so say for example you want to go to the pub, right? That's just a prime example. You might not want to go to the pub, you might want to go to, say for example, you might want to go to McDonald's. Why have I put those trousers in there? Anyway, so you want to go to McDonald's, for example, right? Let's just imagine you want to go to McDonald's. I want to see what I've actually got here. I've got socks. Oh, wow. Choices. I could either wear their boxer shorts, or I could, anyway. So yeah, so you want to go to the pub or McDonald's. So you want to go to those, say you want to go to one of them, right? Whichever your preference may be. Now, depending on the staff they've got that day and depending on the students that are around, clients, we'll say students because that sounds better than bloody clients, gosh. A client sounds like, I don't know, it sounds like you're in a shop or something, or you're using some form of well, you are using a service. Uh, but I have to be I can't be formal. Just, um, but anyway, um, yeah, it's basically like, a tenant. That sounds better. Yeah, yeah, that sounds worse than a client, but, you know, um, or a lodger. There you go. And basically, I've used this service. I'll tell you how I've used this service in a minute. But yes, depending on how many people, if the people are in wheelchairs, all that kind of thing, it's all round what those people need, and then they'll say, right, okay, yeah, we can go to, say, the pub or Mackey's, right? And that can be done. Um, if you want to go out at night, which I did on Monday, I just want to clarify this. So I tested the waters a little bit on Monday, just been and gone. And I went out and I said, listen, I'm not going to be coming back too late. It finishes at 9 o'clock, plus the pub that I was going to closes about 10 or 11. So seriously, you know, if you want to go out and come back about 9 o'clock, that's all fine. Uh, it all depends how independent you are. So, you know, I'm using me as an example because I am an example. In fact, I'm a prime example. And, and I'm using this platform to help those out, because I feel like, if you're a YouTuber, it's like when I was at Make It Workshop and, if we wanted something, we'd help other people out. That's how it works. That's how community works. Um, it's, yeah, so that's how community works and should. So anyways, um, so yeah, depending on how independent you are, um, then literally, like, depending on how independent you are, then yeah, um, you can go out and stay out till whatever. Um, but yeah, so I'll talk about going out, being independent, because that's what I've been doing. When I first came here, um, they didn't let me go out independently to begin with. I think because you're being assessed subliminally. Um, it's weird. And when they do the T visits, they're already assessing you. I want to say this because explicitly to the service users that have got a bit more of a tongue in their head. So when you're going for the T visits, think about what you want to ask. Um, I mean, obviously, when you come here and stay here, and obviously, um, here's the thing. Um, I'm answering everything in this podcast. So you might want to listen to this. I don't know. You might want to listen to this after you've had your first tea visit. Maybe that's a good thing. Or your final tea visit. Or when you've started to stay here, maybe listen to this again and again and again because this is your user manual. And I'm not being paid to do this. I just thought I've promised I've helped people out all the way through my journey, and this is something that I want to give to you guys. So here it is. So yeah, it, when I first came here, when I my very very first week, I wasn't. They didn't allow me to go out independently in my first week, right? Um, but I kept pushing for it, and then when I second came, because I had my grips on, I was like, "Am I allowed to do it? Yeah, yeah, that's fine." And I was go and they took me to the bus stop and everything. And the communication with the staff is brilliant. You know, I mean, even the night staff, um, they do have to come into your room at some point to check that you're alive. You know, but apart from that, seriously, on a serious note, um, everyone, they're just doing the job. The people are just doing, and they do a great job. You know, it's not like Henshaw's. Yeah, there's one or two people, but you get that everywhere. And even them, I get on with, strangely enough. Like I say, it's not Henshaw's, and I'll do a rant on Henshaw's in another video that's not this one because there's nothing to rant about. Um, yeah, the staff help in very, very helpful. Um, and communication is definitely key. It's all like everyone comes to your level, but you know, um, everyone knows how to, the auto cues. They know if someone's got a slow or fast auto cue, which is pretty important. But anyway, um, so yeah, um, I'll talk about the rules because there isn't many. There's just one rule to rule them all, and that is just be kind to everybody. Even if it's someone who you probably might not get on with, I mean, I don't really, shouldn't really say this. I don't really see most of the people here. I go in the living room and I put my head around and uh, I will just have a bit of a nose. I'll sit and listen to people and try and strike a conversation. But I tend to sort of live in my own world. That's just me. Um, and it feels like I'm being antisocial, but I don't know when you've got people coming in doing tea visits, when you're staying here and you think, that's a bit too formal, it gets a bit too busy in the main lounge, you can just go off and I tend to, when all that's happening, I tend to just go to the room that I'm staying in and I will put my headphones on or TV on or whatever. Um, and yeah, so but I've literally made my own world here, if you will. I've been here, um, you know, and both these rooms have stories to tell. This room has a lot more of a story to tell, room 4, because I was here during the new year and it's got its own tales. Um, room 3 has its own tales because that was the room for. I've basically said on my Facebook that room 3 is all like rock stars have separate rooms, and I made a little in joke on my Facebook page of room 3 is the room for smashing televisions and uh, smashing all the stuff up, and then room 4 is for sleeping in. Anyway, in joke aside, um, also, uh, yeah, and the beds they're comfortable. They're not. This room 4 has got the comfortablest bed in. Also, room four's got like a very nice layout. Um, and the sockets are in the right place. I think room 3 must have been the last room they worked on because like the sockets are down the side. Obviously, it's good for say someone that I don't know fiddles with sockets too much. I don't know, but anyway, um, the layout of the place is pretty good. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's strange because I've only been sleeping here and whatever. I've tend to done my own thing except for today, you know, because it's good on them if you can try and do stuff with other people here as well, even though it's probably not your cup of tea. Um, if you're independent, but you just gotta try and do it as much as you can. Um, yeah, and what would I say? What would I? I think people that come in here, they'll have their own. They'll have a lot of questions, you know, but it's not rules. There's no real rules and regulations. There's no fixed times for things. Staff swap and change, because they've got to go home at the end of the day and stuff, and they've got to take breaks and things. But really, the sort of like I said, there's one rule. There's no, you've got to get up at this time in the morning and you've got to go to bed at this time at night, you know. Uh, I mean, obviously it's probably not very good to stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning, but if you wanted to stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning, I mean, I've come to this room now because I said I'm going to bed, but hey, if I wanted to get up at 1 or 2 in the morning or whatever, and if you feel a bit anxious, I mean, the night staff are fantastic. All the night staff are fantastic. And, um, you know, and communication, you just gotta communicate with them. Because if you don't communicate, you're not gonna get what you want. That's just the best thing to do. Um, I'm talking to the people that have got a bit more of a tongue in their heads, you know, coming here. Because if you can, if you think, oh yeah, this is whatever, but try and here's the thing. This place is a great stepping stone for moving into. Okay, it's a bit of a holiday camp, but still, you can like here. I've basically just ate and slept here. That's all I've done most of the time. Um, and to be honest, it's good because you're not. I don't technically rely on the staff for much. Um, only for 1 or 2 things. The only time I've relied on staff for something is if I think I'm gonna break something. That's the best thing to do. If you think you're gonna break something, yeah, um, that's common sense, really, isn't it? Or if you're unsure about something, that's another good thing. But when I stayed here, um, first time, very, very, very first time, because I was really excited, and I don't really, because I stayed at Neil's house, um, for a period of time. Um, I wasn't really, and I know if I do get worried or anxious, I know the staff are down the corridor and it's their job. But I don't really, um, worried and anxious and kind of thing. But I think being worried and anxious is sort of good for a little bit because it's like you're pushing yourself forward in a way. But that's what staff are there for if you so-called need them. Um, like I said previously, I'm going to put these. I just found a pair of boxer shorts. I'm going to use these. I'm going to put these boxer shorts to good use. What was I saying before all that interruption? Um, but yeah, and I think the thing is, when you come to look at this place, or when you come for the tea visits, nothing's kind of what I found that nothing was very crystal clear. And when I first stayed here, I had to ask a lot of questions in 1 week. it was a lot of questions, and I didn't find the answers to them. And the second time I stayed here, all my questions were answered. Everything was answered at once. And now I think this final time, why is it, and this is what I find frustrating, why is it the final time I've basically found all the answers? And I thought, do you know what? Make a podcast. Because when someone else like myself stays here, they'll be able to listen to this and they'll be able to hear. They'll have someone answering the questions for them. And, um, you know, and everything's tailored around you. You gotta remember that. Everybody works around you. So, bloody hell, I can't believe I've done in the space of 10 minutes. Well, it feels like a bit more than that. Oh, crumbs, why have I? Do you know, everything feels nice and soft when it's come out the wash. Yeah, but, and in the last vlog I did, because I've been here this week, and I've not really put a lot of, because it's very difficult, because you've got to respect people and all the rest of that, I've not really, in the last few vlogs, I did the room tour, and it was weird because, okay, I've done a lot of feedback here, but I think every time, I think the YouTube stuff has been like extra feedback. I think, not like I'm a product, by the way. But I just think, I think, the next person that comes here, you know, if they was to come here, wait, are they mine? Oh yeah. Let's see if they remember to remove stuff from the pockets, or is it stuck there? Because I forgot to throw stuff in the bin. Nope. There's usually that mess at the bottom of the pocket if you've forgotten to take tissues out, but I've managed to do the job. Oh, the fresh smell. That's another thing when you come here to Poplers, they wash your stuff for you, but I don't need to tell you that. I mean, I find like when you have the tea visits, I find them a bit rushed. So I would say when you come for the tea visits, just have some questions prepared. I don't know why I'm saying this, but just have some questions prepared. They don't have to be written down, but those sort of things do help. Right, that's all packed in my case now. What took me 2 days of packing? Well, I say 2 days of packing. Yeah. I'm not very good at packing, but hey, throwing clothes in a bag. It takes. That is a bed I cannot wait to get into. But yeah, I think, if I can help, if I can help loads of people, if I can help one person, then yeah, I could do, because, you know, I've had some very good memories at Poplers, DJing till 3 or 4 in the morning at New Year, and, those memories have been made. But, oh, yeah, and I've been excited to do all this, because that's what I've been doing. However, duty does call, so I'm going.